What is going on, guys? BCD here, back with another quick video, and today I want to talk about the 5 biggest changes that have occurred in season 14 of Apex Legends. Introducing Vantage, all that good jazz, new Kings Canyon map. um, I'm going to leave off Vantage and Kings Canyon, just because those are significant changes that will probably outweigh a lot of those stuff, and then it really wouldn't be a top 5 changes. So I'm going to state essentially Vantage is a really good character. She feels very good to play with, and she doesn't feel too overpowered. And then the Kings Canyon map has never played better at this point. I can honestly say that. Like, I've played since season 1, or season 0. Kings Canyon pretty much sucked once we got a lot of movement characters. At this point in time, it is a really solid map. A lot of the rotations and the third partying has been minimized, at least for now. Maybe that's just simply because people are taking advantage. They're sitting back trying to snipe, but at the same time, Vantage is probably one of the most movement based characters. He's a sniper, but a movement based character at the same time. Anyway, that's not the point. Top 5 biggest changes in season 14, starting now. All right, so starting off in no particular order because it's really hard to rank these, but the first thing was the character changes, but I'm going to pick one in particular that stood out the most as the biggest change. It has to go to Mad Maggie. Mad Maggie can now destroy Gibraltar's Dome of Protection. She can do damage to pretty much any placeable object, but to destroy Gibraltar's dome is very key to changing of the meta. Honestly, if you're probably not in the rank scene, you probably wouldn't see a big difference. But because this is something that's going to truly change how people choose to go to bat in rank, this has to be one of those biggest changes. The Wrecking Ball being able to actually do something useful is the biggest change possible that they could have made when it comes to character changes. It is going to define, like, obviously, if you ever watched anything, Gibby's pick rate is very, very high when it comes to rank. Mad Mackey should be up there at least as a counter for him, and I can't wait to see how it truly spans out. But that is probably definitely one of the biggest changes. Another one that's a sleeper, like I said, I don't want to do these in a particular order, but it's a sleeper, is the ability to collect crafting materials for your entire team. I cannot count how many times I have literally, and my teammates have literally went to a crafting machine after getting the pop-ups of one person going around and picking up everything, using a backpack or crafting a weapon within the crafting machine. Like, I feel like that very small change has now created a wave of people to actually engage with the crafting. Like, I was someone that never really crafted. I didn't feel like going around and picking things up, but now that you have someone on the team and everyone gets that shared amount, it's really helpful in just kind of getting to the point of what crafting is, and it's something that's supposed to help your team gear up faster. So this small change is something that will hugely impact how people think about weaponing, and equipping things, and creating things and what they craft. It's something that's going to impact how people play the game, and it's very small. Literally, all they did was say, "Hey, wouldn't it be smart for everyone to get the crafting materials and not have to run up to that thing? And if they're all on the same team." Like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, implement it. So that's another big change to me, because it is basically now bringing everyone into the fold of crafting. Hopefully, it is going to be something that people truly, mess around with. Obviously, being able to craft skull piercers and backpacks and things like that. That's always going to be something that's a plus. So the next thing that I wanted to cover was actually the Knockdown Shield. The Knockdown Shield no longer having self revive is not necessarily one of the biggest changes, but it still takes adjustments to now remember that, hey, if someone has a gold knockdown, they can't pick themselves up, so you don't have to try to thirst them. You can literally just go to the next enemy, and you don't no longer have to worry about someone self reviving because you left the teammate alive. So you can always just push the next enemy, and you don't have to worry about them standing up. But it's a big change because you've been so accustomed to, once you see a gold shield, you're probably going to keep doing it. I know I did it already today, but as you kind of get used to not having that revive system, self revive system in the game, it's going to be something that we all kind of adjust to. But it is a big change because it has been in the game since its inception. I believe that's been there since season 0, but I could be wrong. Like I said, this game changes a lot, but I remember the self revive being there for a very long time. I think since the game started. The fourth biggest change that came in the game was laser sights. Laser sights are kind of ridiculous when it comes to like the Prowler and the R99. They're really they really make the spread a lot easier than I expected. And I did not think it was going to be that big of a change, but honestly, try a laser sight on a Prowler, and you will see the difference. And it's kind of crazy. It's a really short spread. Like, they really tighten it to the fact where you can literally be accurate with this thing. But check it out. I think it's one of the bigger changes because it's going to allow people a little bit more freedom when it comes to those fights, to be able to be, move and adjust and allow people to kind of try to make people miss their shots. So definitely one of the bigger changes, simply because the laser sights is already in a popular, SMGs are already a popular thing. Adding the laser sights to the floor is going to make them even more popular, but it's also going to make them harder to fight. Obviously, that's why they kind of tried to do the EVA 8, but I don't think that was enough, to be honest. But we'll see. Hopefully, it's not too overpowered, but really, check out the Prowler. You'll see what I'm talking about. And lastly, and I kind of wanted those 6, but lastly, the last one I want to talk about is the actual hold to interact, tap to interact, the whole breaking that up. It is major for a console player, for a controller player. It is a major change because it allows you to reload without opening a door or trying to revive someone. You can just reload. You don't have to try to get away from your teammate to get things done. It's a very cool thing that they added. It's not going to be major for most, but like I said, this game is mostly played on console, so it's a huge deal. It really is. If you haven't tried it yet, you can go into your settings under controller and just turn on tap to interact, hold. It's going to be hold to reload, tap to interact. I think that's the best one. Even though it still gets a little wonky when you're trying to revive and things like that, it's much better when it comes to the door situation. You won't kind of miss input. You just have to get used to holding to reload, because it can get a little bit like, oh, I'm tapping and I'm trying to reload, but it ain't work. You have to hold to reload, tap to interact, and it allows you to kind of get those small mistakes and get comfortable with it over time. But it's another big change because literally that has been in the game since the game had doors. The doors were in season 0. Like, to not even care about adding this is another huge change in this game, but it's very, very small. You would probably fly under the radar. They didn't put too much out about it, but like I said, go into your settings, check it out if you're on a controller. it is a huge difference. The bonus round that I wanted to cover was the weapon economy and how they switched up and moved stuff around. It feels really good because if I was running a sniper, I feel a lot more comfortable being able to find sniper ammo. And because Vantage is a sniper class and she just has a lot of kits, she basically has a dedicated sniper. So truly, if you want to, use Vantage to her, you want to use Vantage to her biggest advantage, you'll probably want to run like an SMG shotgun and then just use her sniper, or you can run like a a assault rifle SMG. You don't necessarily need to hold on to a sniper because you have a dedicated sniper on your back and you want to be using that more often than not because it's a lot easier to hit shots with. It already has the scope. You don't have to worry about even, trying to loot for it. It's always there. So you really want to be trying to get a bunch of ultimate accelerants to kind of add the shots that you get immediately. So that's pretty much it. I wanted to just kind of go over the 5 biggest changes that I think occurred in the game and are really cool. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. What is your biggest changes for you? I know the dual loader for the 30-30 repeater is really nice. Spitfire going to light ammo is crazy. Deadeye's Temple always being on the Sentinel is crazy. It's a lot of changes, but the ones that I mentioned again are the biggest ones to me that's going to really change the game in a lot of different ways. So thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.
Ring closes.
That was great. Let's do it again.
The ring's close. 45 seconds. The pressure is exhilarating.
Ring will be closing in 30, but she ain't far.
Introducing a new variable.
Got prey there stuffed into level 5 shield. Whole pack is alive.
In progress.
I wounded the prey. Prey sighted there in level 5 shields. Whole pack is alive. Prey over there. Don't spook them.
Gas trap deployed.
Fire.
Taking fire.
Serving them a knuckle sandwich.
Here.
Shields are
Right here. Close to me.
deploying a variable.
Recharging my shield.
I'm down.
Cracked an enemy shield. Clown taken down.
I cracked the target shield. I'm the new kill leader? Okay. We just killed the champion. Did they give themselves that title?
You are the Apex Champions.